And we're starting, I think. And I've gone with the inflammatory title of Will Milo Yiannopoulos join me live? Because there's all this talk of him coming to Australia and where he'll appear and whatnot. Maybe with me? No, really no. But, you know, I just thought I'd be inflammatory because I'm a crazy guy. Now I just have to make sure I have my chat ready. Got to get my chat. Where is that? Help me out, YouTube. Give me my chat. Let me detach it, pop it out, as the saying goes. All right, on like Donkey Kong. So hey, if you're watching this back, you get to watch the magical bit that no one's here for. Yeah, this is always a little special time. Just you and me until people start to arrive in the live chat. If, you know, I'd planned this better, I would have done some advance notice of it, but I did not plan it better. I had to meet someone after work, and I watched a couple things on YouTube and then came straight on here. I should have planned it better, but you know, I didn't. So it's too late to worry about it now because I didn't do it. So I might just tell the peeps on Facebook that I'm here. Yeah, okay, let's just tell people. Come and join me in the live chat. See, I can't type without saying what I'm typing. If I try and talk and type something else, I can't do it. And you don't want to be in silence, so I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Link in the comments. And then I've got to choose a pretty Facebook background. What's a... it's probably too pretty. So a bit more. Peace sign doesn't seem appropriate. Hearts doesn't seem appropriate. Kind of like that one. Oh, that one's got arrows. I should use that one. Yeah, okay. That one. And I'll put the link in there, trying to get around the Facebook algorithm. All right, there we go. We're on, like Donkey Kong. Okay. Now I don't want to do that. I do want to do this, and I do want to do this, and then I'm ready to go. Ooh, I will just check the old Twitters as well. See if it posted me a thar, because I want to be posted thar. It didn't post me thar. Okay, fair enough. I will do it here. Okay, another little thing. Live video stream. And put the link in. And then we're hunky-dory. Rick and Morty time. Burping in the middle of sentences. Hey, Peter, how's it going? I just realized I had another parcel today too. More religious tracts arriving in the mail. Definitely should use them all to start a cult. I think that would be the way to go. Oh, whew. So yeah, I've had a big day. I've been at work all day and caught up with a friend with whom I am working on a project. Had to catch up and talk about the project. Whence I had some fried chicken. It's funny. There's a friend of mine I made through yon internet. Her name's Suzanne. She calls herself String Story online. Her thing is fried chicken, eating fried chicken. She's having because she's done all this internet stuff around the world. She's having a worldwide birthday party online, fried chicken party. So whenever I find a new fried chicken place, I think of her. I found a new fried chicken place tonight. Wasn't with her. It was with someone else, a guy called Brian. Petey, I've hurt your back. That sucks. I'm glad you're hanging in there. Do you think I haven't done really serious damage. I slightly pulled a muscle a couple months ago now, not long after I moved into this place. I was trying to put together some furniture and I was lying on the floor underneath something, twisting around. I wasn't even lifting anything. And it was this sudden, and it was fucking sore for, like, it was really sore for a couple of days. Not completely incapacitating, but very sore. And then just kind of sore for weeks afterwards. It's like, God, I'm old. I didn't even do anything. It's not back strain. There's no injury. I was lying on the ground and I twisted a bit and fucking hurt. I'm old. Bits of my body can just fall off with no warning if I'm not careful. I've got to be a bit more careful so bits don't fall off my body. That's me doing a pretense of being slightly more dignified than just doing a Rick Sanchez burp straight out in the middle of a sentence, which is actually the way I normally am. Speaking of which, I think I got comments like, looking on my YouTube videos. Okay, what was it? Oh, that's right. I'm trying to pick fights with videos. Doing a video saying Mike Pence is going to hell. I know because Jesus told me. You know, I'm not really just being mindlessly inflammatory to upset his supporters. Yes, I am. That's actually what I'm doing, because I don't like him. Yeah, it's fun. I love it when, because when I get obnoxious comments, I do tend to tell people to go fuck themselves and then block them, so they get a message in their inbox from me saying, "Go fuck yourself," but they can't respond on my channel. But every now and then, there's one that's really pathetic, and they're just trying to get a reaction out of me. And if I do, even if it's just to tell them to go fuck themselves, they go, "Oh, I gotcha," and they're really obvious. These people, they think they're super clever, but they're obvious as fuck. And so I don't even acknowledge them. I don't acknowledge that I'm blocking them. I don't even tell them to go fuck themselves. It's just like, oh no, you think that you've done something special if I react to you at all. So I'm not reacting to you at all because you're definitely not special. And I just let them go. Oh my God. Peter hurt your back once from coughing too hard. That is a slightly embarrassing story to tell. That is true. I think Aidsy can one-up you. I think he's actually broken bones from coughing and sneezing. Osteoarthritis and weaknesses induced by chemotherapy he's gone through over the years. He's actually broken bones by coughing and or sneezing. So just goes to show, really, you never know what can be what. Well, that's interesting. What's that volume? Okay, I don't know if I need more volume or not. That was interesting. I'm just looking at the controls here. Oh, okay. No, I don't want to do that. I don't even know what the controls do. And I'm just going, what does that do? Right, it's the control room. What's this? Cameraman. Oh God, I did something to an app. I don't know what that's going to do. Okay. Well, I think that's about letting people join. That's really weird. No, I don't want to do that. I have to read about how that works before I do that. And what's that? That's just chat, I guess. Yes. Okay. Cool. Settings. Yes, I got my webcam. I got my speakers. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. No, I've got everything working. Yeah, you're not wrong, Peter. AIDS's health afflictions just suck, really. Hey, Celtic King, how you doing? So, yes. Unfortunately, I don't think it's quite as bad as AIDSy. Yeah, unfortunately, he wasn't able to come over on the weekend. I was hoping he'd come over on the weekend and we could do a live stream during the day and have a bit of fun. But he wasn't feeling particularly good, and he had some stuff that he had to sort out. Oh yeah, Peter, Sunrise Cushy had Milo Yiannopoulos on, which just goes to show what fuckheads they are. It's interesting. I read about it later. And Koshi's view of Milo is that Milo's a fake. Milo just says ridiculous shit to get a reaction. He basically said, you're just, like Borat, aren't you? You're just saying ridiculous, outrageous stuff to get a reaction from people. But good old Milo is too much of a fucking prick to admit he's a fucking prick. And just went on about, no, I'm just telling the truth, man. Just telling the truth. Wouldn't know the truth if he got up and hit him in the face with a fucking shovel. We all should be so lucky that someone hits him in the face with a shovel. Celtic King, going fairly well. I'm fairly well. My family's fairly well. AIDS's soldiering on. Not fantastic or 100% or anything else. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Peter. It's all well and good after the fact of giving a worthless piece of shit like Milo Yiannopoulos a platform and saying, oh, he's a jerk, wasn't he? Like, what? He's a jerk. He's his whole track record. He's a fucking piece of shit. That's his whole shtick. He's just obnoxious. He's a prick. His version of the world is to not contribute anything, just do stuff to upset people because, keeping it real, being edgy. And you're not edgy. You're really boring and pathetic. And it's really tragic that conservative politics these days, particularly in America, but not just in America, but conservative politics is dominated by these fuckwits whose only contribution is to be a prick to people and upset people. And also, yeah, he's upsetting the libtards. I feel really good that he upset people who are already marginalised. And I say this as a shame because politics needs a balance. As much as I am shamelessly partisan, I think politics needs a balance because people are different. People simply don't want the same things. And there needs to be a balance between people who are on the more conservative side socially and fiscally, people who are on the more progressive side socially, people who are on in fiscal policy are more socialized, like me. I think that balance is important because without the balance, everything goes out of whack. The people in power become sort of institutionalized and really, really crap. Hey, Toby, how you doing? Hey, I got another package in the mail, Toby. The one that you signed me up for, I think, I haven't opened it. Maybe I should go get it. It's just in my briefcase in the next room. Well, Toby, I do my best to be a god. That's the thing. See, I'm talking about there needing to be a balance. I have said it before in here. If I had actual godlike powers, a third of the world's population, if I had unchecked powers, it would just be like, no, fuck all you all motherfuckers, and just be like, the first ones to go would be the truly bad ones. The killers, the rapists, the terrorists, and the murderers, the politicians who want to wage war and sow terror, they'd all be the first ones to go. But, you know, it wouldn't be long till you're just a fuckwit. World's better off without you. Zot. Just make a lightning bolt go down and boom. And I'd like a lot of my smitings to be really public. Like, I want people to see what gets you smoten with the angry god. It would be like, you know, like someone being a complete fuckhead in public. Like, you get those videos of someone abusing someone in public, like on public transport, having a really obnoxious, racist or sexist or homophobic rant at someone and abusing them and threatening them, making everyone look bad. I would just, like, you know, lightning to strike inside a bus, like inside a train, just little pile of ash, and everyone goes, ah, the angry god smote that one. And it would just be a message: don't be a dickhead, because I will find you in Fatamcha. Peter, I'm with you completely. I also am quite a fan of Rick and Morty, but when I see how stupid some of the fans of the show are, I think they need dealing with. Toby, I think you're right. Some sort of video, an angry god smiting people. You should just be watching. I still see an old Gary Larson Far Side comic where God at a computer, and alongside the function keys, one of them is labeled smite. And the cartoon was just labeled, God hits the smite key. He was hitting this key on his keyboard, and you see the result is a guy just walking down the street, and a safe, like an Acme safe, is falling out of the sky, about to land on him. Just like when something that random happens, you know, God decided to smite you. Peter, smacking Corey with the barbecue was close. Man, we shot that video so many times, actually. Corey's really interesting to work with because he's a perfectionist and he's really precise. Like, he's talked a lot in his videos over the years of having ADD, and at various times he's tried various different medications, and at other times hasn't been on any medication at all. And he has the ability, at least sometimes, to channel his ADD. Like, the stereotype of someone with ADD is they can't focus and their attention flickers across all these things. Corey is very, very different to that. When he focuses on something, he hyper focuses on it. A couple times I've worked on videos with him, and he's just been obsessively focused on the minutiae. No, it's got to be shot like that. It's got to have this music going with it. The camera angle's got to be this. No, you've got to say this. You've got to do that. You've got to be like this. That little 10-second one of punching him at the barbecue, we did that a few different ways. Like, you know, in the video, I don't even say anything. Well, actually, I say, Corey, the Barbie's ready. And he comes out and goes, how about we put another shrimp on the Barbie? And I just punch him. We did a couple, like, I felt compelled to say a line. You know, I'd never say that to an Australian. And he was just like, no, that didn't work. Don't say that. Don't say that. Do it again. And we for like a 10-second video, we shot it a few times. And when I've done longer ones with him, we spent, like, you know, look, I'll actually try and find one on my channel. Where are we? New tab. I'll try and find my video manager, and we'll search for SMP Films. See which videos he's in on my channel. Let's see, Mr. Safety. Just muttering that. That's not good, is it? I've got a film called... Oh, okay. The interactive phone game video I did with him that's 2 minutes long. Yeah, we spent literally all day on it. We thought about it. He did a bunch of stuff. We shot stuff. We shot it a bunch of different ways. And then the editing. And a 2-minute video we spent the entire day on. That's how focused he gets. What's this doing? Okay. No, okay, that's all good. Yeah. So, and I also agree with you, Peter. Hyper-focused people make me feel very lazy too. Video people who make me feel lazy. About once a year, OK Go do one of their incredibly involved music videos. They do videos more than once a year, but the really big ones are about once a year. Just want to look at their channel. OK Go. And they do really involved videos with an amazing amount of planning in them, and just executed so well. But every time they put one of them out, I'm like, wow, you guys make me feel so lazy. They seem to put out about a video a week. There's all these Ask OK Go videos out, about 4 or 5 a month. But they're 6 months ago, they did one called Gravity's Just a Habit, which is a big one. And when was the last big one before that? Oh, One Moment. Okay, that was about 10 months ago. So maybe they do a big video twice a year, but the videos are so involved. And speaking as someone who makes videos, when you make videos for a while, you learn how much work is involved in creating videos. You can look at someone else's video and go, holy shit, I know how difficult that was to make. I know how hard they worked on that. And OK Go, very much. Yeah, Peter, the Rube Goldberg one, which one was that? I'm just going back through their old ones, the really involved ones. I Won't Let You Down. Yeah, they seem to do a big one about every 6 months. I'm looking at it. Going through their channel, the big ones are about twice a year. I think the Rube Goldberg one is called When You Come or something. Or maybe it's this one. I'm seeing all these behind the scenes stuff. Maybe it's called The Writings on the Wall. Oh, it looks like The Writings on the Wall, actually. Let me have a look at that one. What? Yeah, but as someone who just makes, easy. I know, Writing on the Wall is something else. Okay, that's interesting. I don't think I'm even that familiar with that one. But yeah, as someone who makes honestly easy to make videos, every now and then I put a bit of extra effort in. But most of my videos are, me doing a one-take thing. Okay, Toby asking, how long does it typically take me to film, edit, and upload a video? Let me go for one. I'll look at my recent oeuvre. So, because, okay, one-take videos are kind of cheating because I don't have to edit them. I just have to render them. But if I look at the recent ones, Was one, okay. There's a couple where, you know, I've done in a few pieces. There's been about 3 different bits of it, and sometimes it's deliberate. Like from the start, I decide, okay, I'm going to do this, and then stop, and then I'm going to rearrange and do this, and sometimes I just intend to do a one take, but I lose my train of thought at some point, because, you know, I don't edit out ums and ahs in my video like some people do. I don't edit out slight pauses, but sometimes I'll go like blah, 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 and brain just no worky, no more. It's like, no, I have to stop. Okay, it's not going to be one take. I have to stop. No, I'll pause and think. So an average video where it's anywhere between 3 and 10 edits. That's just a pretty average video. If, I mean, you look at the video, so I've got to come up with the concept. I usually make a few notes. I sometimes walk around the house going, and Mrs. Angry's got used to me. If I'm walking around sort of doing this, she's going, "Are you preparing for a video, are you?" So I'm like, no. I'm rehearsing. I said, I'll do it like this, and then I'll do it like this, and then I'll do it like this. And she's kind of used to me doing that. So if you count when I'm thinking about the video, when I'm writing notes, or occasionally a full script, and then I go in and shoot it, and then I got to upload that to my computer, and then I got to edit it, and then I got to render it. For a typical video, that's a couple of hours. On very rare occasions, when I do something really complicated and it has a lot of edits, particularly if I do special effects and overlays and whatnot, the editing alone might take a couple of hours, but I don't subject myself to that very often. But typically for me to put a video together, because usually I only do them when I come home from work and I upload them the same night. You know, if I was smarter, I'd be doing them in advance. I'd be, you know, like I'd spend a day writing and rehearsing, and then I'd spend time shooting and maybe editing over a day or two, and then putting a polishing up. You know, if I was smart, I might spend 2 or 3 days putting a video together and get a higher quality video. I don't. I just bang them out. Right. That's the way I am. So, yeah, so on average, if you take into account the preparation, scripting, ideas, shooting, editing, it's a couple of hours. Hello, look, everyone's arriving now. We must have had, I don't know, basically, Philia and Thela and Futurism and Aussie Brick Chick and Dave Hill. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Yes, hiya, David. As you say, the suppository of wisdom was talking some stupendous crap. If you missed it, you're lucky. Tony Abbott's in London at some ridiculous fucking global warming denier conference. He's making this stupid speech where he actually said, he goes and says, oh, no, I don't think climate change is happening. Or things that are happening are more good than bad. And this is typical of these fuckwit loudmouths on the right. When there's a problem, they'll spend ages saying there's no problem, or they'll spend ages saying it's not true. And then it goes to, if it's true, it's not a problem. And then eventually, well, the problem's not our fault. And it's just like, it's absolutely despicable. Hello, Lucy and Dangerously Talented. Nice to see you too. So the desperation from Abbott is just amazing. I mean, he's so much craving for attention. But I know, Peter, it's a shame he was Prime Minister for as long as he was, but he wasn't Prime Minister for very long. Was it like 2 years? That was not very long. And in a fairly unprecedented move for the Liberal Party, getting knifed while he was still in power. That's pretty goddamn funny. Yeah, you're right, Musical Aviator. Abbott's not a climate change tonight. It's true, but it's a good thing. It's just like, I'm just like, fucking, I mean, seriously, what Abbott and his kind are doing with subverting one of the most critical issues in the world today for their political gain is absolutely despicable. Like, it should be punishable under law. It's like, no, dude, you're fucking lying. It's not, this is not a difference of opinion. You are pushing lies that in all probability will ultimately get millions of people killed, will cost the world economy trillions, be fucking awful. Dottie, you had a DVI to VGA adapter. You ordered 2 months, finally arrived and doesn't work, so you're angry. You have some angry ranting. Angry ranting. Oh, yeah, Phil, Abbott's wanting his attention. I'm still amazed, like with Channel 10 going under, I'm kind of amazed Gina Reinhardt didn't just buy it outright to just, I mean, like she had shares in it and she was trying to push and did successfully push them to put propaganda on it. If she bought it outright, it'd just be a constant propaganda wing. I'm really surprised that didn't happen. And the Murdochs and them screwed up their plot, and now it looks like an American network's going to buy. Hi, Belinda, how are you? But yeah, the bloody, I'm trying to put it into words, but just the reliance on lies. You look at Tony Abbott, everything he's been spouting for the last couple of years. This isn't just a difference of opinion. Abbott's deliberately spouting lies. Anyone who's not a moron knows he's straight up lying. And like, it's the thing, politics is more opinion than fact. Like I make no secret of my politics, and it's stuff that I believe deeply. But politics, no matter what your persuasion is more opinion than fact. Policy can be fact-based. You can say, okay, I'm going to put this policy in place, and then we will measure what effect it has, and then we will adjust our policy accordingly. Very few politicians do that. They're driven by ideology rather than any sort of objective reality, and that's no matter what their political persuasion is. But yeah, so I mean, I'm completely okay with people having a differing political opinion, but when Abbott and his types are just lying, like the stuff he says about climate change is just lies. It's demonstrable, provable lies. The stuff he's saying about marriage equality is just lies. It's not relevant to the topic. And on that topic, yes, Lucy, I did see that some other idiot paid a skywriter to write no in the sky. It's just pointless and stupid. But everything Abbott and the anti-marriage equality crowd have been saying is either lies or irrelevancies. They don't ever approach it with, no, I just don't think the gays should be allowed to get married, because very few people are going to listen to them on that. And they know that. And that is their real position. The gays aren't human. The gays are less than human. The gays do not deserve basic rights. Their relationships don't deserve the same recognition under law. That's the beginning, middle, and end of their position. But that's not what they say. They say other things, things that aren't relevant and things that are complete lies. Oh, Peter, the outcome of the survey seems likely to be fairly overwhelmingly yes. And I think Turnbull will put it to a parliamentary vote when a yes result comes in, because it's reasonably clear that, you know, something close to 3/4 of the parliament would vote yes if they were given a free vote. Certainly a majority would. And Turnbull has nothing to lose by giving a parliamentary vote, saying, well, blah, blah, blah. But the whole vote was so stupid, so pointless, so badly done, that the no voters will forever be able to say, oh, but the vote wasn't valid, you know, there were too many discrepancies. And they'll be right, they will be correct. You can't call this postal ballot an objectively accurate measurement of anything, really. Everyone knows a significant majority of the population thinks marriage equality should be a thing. That is blindingly clear. But Turnbull is such a snivelling coward and won't stand up to the ultra-conservative rump of his own party. So it's like someone who sucks up to bullies but keeps getting beaten up by bullies. Like, oh, maybe they'll like me if I give them more lunch money. No, they're never going to like you. Your only option is to stand up to them, because they're never going to like you. And the extremists in the Liberal National Party coalition make it clear they fucking hate Turnbull and always will. So he should just stand up to them. Hi, Tunde, how's it going? Oh, yeah, Belinda. Hanson saying, the gays. I mean, Hanson is not just a bigot. She's quite stupid on top of that. And again, she's another one who's a shameless liar. Like, even on simple stuff, like her idiot sidekick, Malcolm Roberts, and the fact that he is obviously in breach of the constitutional law about not being a dual citizen when you run for parliament. It was obvious that Roberts was in breach of that. And Hanson flat out lied and said, no, Malcolm showed me unequivocal evidence that he definitely wasn't in breach. And that's a lie, because he doesn't have that evidence. But she's just of the opinion she can lie and say whatever she wants and not ever pay a price for it. So yes, she is quite the ugly combination of hideous bigot, real moron, and shameless liar. I mean, that's a pretty ugly combination right now. Oh, Peter, you're probably right that One Nation will win seats. That is unfortunately the way of things in Queensland. But it's oh, nice. Joe Will with the puns. She's appalling. Yes, I'm in favour of puns, even if you have to labour them a little bit. Me personally, as you all know, I go for laboured acronyms as well. I'm a fan of both puns and acronyms. Hence this month, I'm trying to do a video every day, and because it happens to be a video every day in October, video sounds like video. So I like that, so I'm doing videos. It's like, no, it worked out. I was trying to do it another month, and because I kind of got this idea. For some reason, a lot of YouTubers for years have had this thing where April is the month where they do a video every day. Video every day in April, VEDA, people call it. And that's why when I did one in October, I had video. And at one point, I was going to do it in it might have been June or July, and I thought I'd try it. And I go, so it's not Vita, it's Video Everyday July Veg. And I was going, what in veg, vegetables, veggie, and I started to go, veg sounds like I could do vagina. And so I came up with a video every day in July or June or January, if nothing arises. So I worked on that for quite a while to get acronym that sounded like vagina. I'm not saying I was proud, but I was proud of that. Joe, TLAs, my personal favorite thing about TLAs, three-letter acronym, is TLA is itself a three-letter acronym. Celtic King, if I saw Pauline Hanson naked on my bed, would I fuck her? I would vomit, my dude. I would vomit. I would have nightmares. I don't think I'd sleep for a week. I think I'd be in therapy. I think I'd be in therapy for a while. I think seeing Pauline Hanson naked would put me off sex so much, I'd really have to go into some serious therapy. I'm with you, Joe. I'd probably set the bed on fire. Yeah, I'm not into hate fucking. That's a term. Isn't that a fun term? Like a gay activist, Benjamin Law, some of the conservatives tried to make a big scene about him saying on Twitter, what's it going to take to get these idiot conservatives to stop saying the ridiculous shit about marriage equality? Am I going to hate fuck? Am I going to have to hate fuck all of them? And the conservatives tried to spin that in that he was talking about raping people and go, well, no, hate fucking is not rape. That's a different thing altogether. Hello, currently disconnected and misfoxification. Yes, so welcome to anyone, in fact, who just stepped into conversation about hate fucking Pauline Hanson. Not going to happen. Bo, you think you're getting into some scat play? What's that called? Is it a Boston steamer dropping a shit on someone's chest? Cleveland steamer? Is that what that is? I'm trying to remember. Celtic King, yes, I do still have VD's letter. It's a treasure. I still have to scan it and put it on my blog because it should be there for the ages. But there you go. Oh, okay, Aaron. I will just point out, as you say, it's messed up for me mentioning a Cleveland steamer that you actually know what a Cleveland steamer is, and you're correcting me and saying Cleveland steamer. Frankie the Skin. Frank has done a bunch of animations for me. He's working on one where I'm going to be Sergeant Angerson and he's going to be Officer Rachmeyer, which will hopefully be out for Halloween. Really looking forward to that. I've seen the assets. Yeah, Aaron, yes. When you and I and my friend both have been on the internet for 20 years, there's not much that you can see. I was thinking, like, in the early days of the internet, when the porn and the shock stuff was mainly photos, because videos took insanely long to download, and even photos took a long time to download. But yeah, me and a friend, and I'm sure millions of people around the world did that, try to outdo each other with the grossest image that we found. And we're doing it for a while, and then we realized no one wins this game. This game is awful. And Joe, a Cleveland steamer is doing a shit on someone's chest, just so you know. Oh, Celtic King, that's sad. VD's being bashed every few days. Poor fucker is messed up. Absolutely messed up. My favorite shock link. Oh, Rose, if the video's not working, just refresh. If video isn't working, refresh your feed. Oh yeah, Misfoxification. Goatsy was the thing. Goatsy was definitely. In fact, one thing I did like for a while, and this was probably about 10 years ago, was a collection of images. They were on Flickr. There was a Flickr feed called First Goatsy, where people were finding friends of theirs who've never seen Goatsy and showing it to them and getting a photo of their reaction when they realize what they're looking at. So it was just dozens and dozens of photos of people going, people with horrified reactions going on. I think my favorite shock image back in the day when it was just photos was known either as ESAD, Eat Shit and Die, or Concerned Ponder. And the reason it was called, I think I've told this story before, the reason it was called Concerned Ponder, there was a news group back in the old Usenet days about people who make ponds in their backyards, and people were sharing tips about how to make ponds. And one person was saying they called themselves Concerned Ponder because they saw that some people were actually putting porn in threads in this news group, and they were very concerned about it, hence they were a Concerned Ponder. So of course the first reply to this post saying they're very concerned about porn was something awful, and it was someone dropping a huge shit in this girl's mouth, and I swear this person ate a lot of fiber because it was a seriously huge and solid shit. And that was the most full-on shock image I saw for a long time. But yeah, things like Tub Girl and Two Girls, One Cup kind of went beyond, and because they were video as well, they kind of went beyond it. And the Pain Olympics, some people found things like the Pain Olympics, things with people, mostly blokes, mutilating themselves. They found that worse than stuff like Two Girls, One Cup. I had no problem watching Pain Olympics. Those guys cutting their own dicks with razor blades and putting nails through their balls and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty full on, but I don't want to do it. But I found that nowhere near as troubling as stuff like Two Girls, One Cup. For some reason, that was just really troubling to me. But you know, that's just my makeup. Yes, no. Look, let's stop talking about really awful stuff. Let's stop talking about really awful stuff. You're right, Tabby. This is a very weird time to tune in. I'm going to try and change the tone. I'm going to raise the tone up. I did see a question in there a while back about, isn't it funny how the Nazis are upset about Wolfenstein being about killing Nazis? And that's what Wolfenstein's always been at. And this is the thing that stirs me. This is one of the reasons why I won't pander to the really offensive wankers on the internet, whether they call themselves alt-right, whether they think they're just being provocateurs, whether they are actually white supremacists, Hitler lovers, neo-Nazis. I refuse to pander to them, and I refuse to excuse the bullshit they do, because we end up in this ridiculous situation where when you have a video game about killing Nazis, and this video game for 25 years has been about killing Nazis, they suddenly go, oh, why have you ruined this title by getting all political? That is literally what every iteration of this game has been about. It's been about killing Nazis. And even just in the abstract, fucking Nazis up is an objectively good thing. The fact that we are in this space where you have to have this ridiculous fucking conversation. We go, no, Nazis are actually bad. Nazis are actually bad. You see, misfoxification, they don't care. The fact that they are actively defending Nazis, they don't care. They just go, oh, you're just being racist to white people. That's not acceptable. And that's the thing. these people, because there's fucking Nazis in the White House, these people have pushed the ideology of white supremacism so close to the mainstream that we're forced to have these ridiculous fucking conversations. I swear, I don't usually play games. I am going to get Wolfenstein. I've got a PS4. I'm going to get Wolfenstein. I'm going to do some gameplay videos on YouTube where it's just me shooting Nazis, screaming, "Die, you Nazi motherfucker! Die, fuck, 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 die! Die, you Nazi prick! That one looks like Richard, what's his name? Punch him in the face, then stick a machine gun up his ass and empty the clip in there!" I played a Wolfenstein a few years ago. I didn't get that far, and I got through a few chapters of it. And I was playing it on the PC, and where I am really shit in first-person shooters is where they put a puzzle into it. I'm fucking terrible on the maps. Like my 3D spatial awareness is fucking terrible. Like one that I've liked playing recently is the whole Borderlands series, and I'm like, "Oh, shoot him up! Oh, I've got a neat gun! Blow away! Shoot, 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 shoot!" But some of the quests are like find shit on the maps, and the maps are, three-dimensional. You've got to go up floors as well as, you're not just on one level. And I'm fucking terrible at finding stuff. Trying to get the spatial amount, I should jump up there and do that. How do I get to? I can see it's, but it's on another. I am terrible at that. And the last time I played a Wolfenstein game, I don't even remember which one it was. It's probably I was probably about 10 years old. The version I played was probably about 10 years old. And I gave up when there was like a puzzle thing, and I was supposed to find something. I couldn't work out how to open a door. And so I said, "Oh, fuck it," and stopped playing. Timothy, look, I honestly don't have enough time to do a gaming channel. I'll probably just put some gameplay on my main channel. This Foxification, I've never really played Portal, which is interesting because we're talking about Corey, SMP Films, earlier, and Portal's one of his all-time favourite games. I've seen Portal gameplay, and everyone talks about how good the Portal games are, but I've never actually played them. And of course, because you've got to do the puzzle solving with the Portal gun, how to get certain things to happen and whatnot. But there's no two ways about it. I'm definitely getting Wolfenstein and just killing a fuckload of Nazis. Hey, Thomas, play Getting Over It. I don't think I've even heard of that one. And did I say hello, Mega Leech? I hope I said hello. I did. Oops, some dropouts. Okay, I hope it's leveling out for everyone. I don't think it's at my end because I'm plugged in via Ethernet cable. Peter, Telltale Games, I've played about 2/3 of Tales from the Borderlands. I probably should get back to it. I haven't played it for a while. I didn't finish it. And of course, because I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, and Telltale got famous doing Walking Dead games, which are apparently very good. I feel compelled to play them occasionally. Oh, yeah, the NBN, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, okay. Thomas, Getting Over It is a game by Bennett Foddy, who made Quap, which I do know. It's about a naked man in a cauldron using a hammer to traverse escape. Okay, that sounds suitably deranged. For those who don't know what Quap is, it was a thing where you tried to make someone run, and the only action keys you had were Q, W, O, and P, and they moved his arms and legs, and it was really fucking hard. And you try and make this thing walk, and it's like Mega Leech, I think I've got about a year until they force me onto the NBN, and I'm really gonna fucking quiz them hard before I do. Because when I moved in here, they because I got Foxtel and I get my internet through the Foxtel fiber optic cable. They installed a brand new cable. Like some dude crawled under the house, which was really difficult, and drilled a hole in the floor and brought a new fiber optic cable into the house. And so I've got a brand new fiber optic connection right in my lounge room. And the fucking NBN better use that. If they say something as stupid as, "Oh no, we know you've got a working fiber optic cable, but we're gonna fucking rip that out and then just connect you with copper," it's like, get fucked. Ugh, doesn't happen. But I don't. But also, because one weird thing about the Telstra connection through the Foxtel fiber optic connection is it's all about download speed. So it's like 100 MIPS download and only 2 to 5 up, whereas a lot of NBN stuff is close to even. So in terms of me uploading stuff to YouTube, it might be better for me. Oh, good, Rose. I'm glad it's working again. Thomas, there's a guy on YouTube has 5 fiber connections in his office, 2 by the same company. I tell you, the one that was really amazing, I worked at Melbourne Uni about 2 years ago, and their speeds on campus, because Melbourne Uni is actually one of Australia's internet nodes, their speeds on the campus were fucking mind-blowing. It's something, you know, like 1,000 MIPS download and 500 upload. If you had a good connection, it was crazy. I kept thinking like I should have taken advantage of that, but I never really. I didn't upload YouTube videos from there or anything. I kept feeling like maybe I should because the speeds were so amazing. Joe, if I got results like that, 95 down and 30 to 35 up on NBN, I'd be happy. I'm just really paranoid that they're going to downgrade me. Okay, yeah, Joe, NZ has gigabit internet, yes. Oh, Rose, everyone has better internet than us. I did see the report this week that Kenya actually has better internet than Australia. Oh, wow, Frank, I like that idea. You've got another Halloween spoof idea, a Buffy spoof. Amy plays Buffy, and me and you as Angel and Spike. I'm down with that. So I used to get called Spike in college because I did my hair like this. Misclassification. The number of people who have months of technical problems with the NBN and ISPs is just ridiculous. And this is the thing. All this fucking government privatizing of things and splitting things, like, oh, having, you know, competition in the retail for energy will improve things. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's had the thing when I couldn't get electricity connected in my home. The retailer blamed the wholesaler and the wholesaler blamed the retailer. No one took responsibility. I did have once, I had the same problem with the connection for my Foxtel. They were fucking it up, and bloody Telstra were blaming Big Pond. No, sorry, Big Pond Telstra were blaming Foxtel, and Foxtel were blaming Big Pond, and it was Foxtel. College age X, it was sexy angry. Well, I don't know. Look, okay, I'm going to try and find a photo. My sexy actor photo. Let's see if I can find that, actually, because back in the day, I wanted to be an actor. And, you know, I had headshots done, as actors do. And this is a funny thing, like, and if I find this picture I'm thinking of, it's from when I was about 21. And a few years ago, by a few years, I mean like 14 or 15 years ago, before I met the current Mrs. Angry. When I was dating, I was on some internet dating sites. I, for a laugh, on my profile picture, rather than having an accurate picture of me, I posted this picture that I used as my headshot when I wanted to be an actor. And I was going on things like, it wasn't IRC chat, it was MSN Messenger. Back in the day when MSN Messenger was still a thing, and I was single, I used to go on MSN Messenger a lot, and I used as my profile picture this old acting headshot of mine. So the time I was on MSN Messenger, I don't know, I was about 35, and so I was using a profile picture of when I was about 21, and I did have a few ladies hitting on me, saying, "Is that really you in that picture? Is that a real picture of you?" And I would usually tell the truth and say, "Well, it is a picture of me, but it's a really old picture of me." But then they'd say, they'd say, "Well, you look hot." I go, "Well, honestly, where were you when I was 21? Because, I wasn't really experiencing having to fight the ladies off with a stick at the time. So, what if you think I was hot when I was 21, where the hell were you when I was 21? I was a bit miffed, quite honestly. So that's my little complaint about what are we doing here? Check-ins. Now I was trying to find a particular photo. I can't. Wait, shouldn't there? Wait, I'm going to try one more thing. Photos, your photos, albums. That's what I want. Albums, I want profile pictures, because I'm sure I used this one as a profile picture at one point. Let me have a look. There's a picture of me as a baby. Okay. All right. First. All right. I look at this picture and I look at it and don't think it looks like me, but it's me. I'm like 21. This is talking about college age me. This is me graduating. Can I put it in a link? Hello, Mr. Stephen. Oh God, ASL, yes. So can I put a picture here? No, but I can put a link. Let me see if I can find a link to this on Facebook. This is an old picture of me. No. Oh wait, share. That's what we want. No, that's not what I want. Ugh. No, I'm trying to work out how to show you this picture. Options. Options, make profile, full screen. Trying to work out. Okay, I'm going to put a link here and tell me if this links to a picture of me. All right, so click on that link and tell me if it links to a picture of me. I just sort of got obsessed about doing this. Bring the picture up on the computer and hold a mirror up. Oh, look, I could possibly do it on my phone, in fact, if I bring up. But tell me if that link worked. Right, where am I on here? Me. No, that's not what I want. Cancel. Ugh, it does. Okay, so that photo is me graduating from college. So I'm like 21 there. There you go. So people who want to know what I looked like when I was young, that's me at 21. And I will just show you my, that's not what I want. That's not the one I clicked on. Oh, it's tiny. I think this one's tiny, but I'll link it anyway. Ugh. All right. Okay, so it worked for some people. That's really weird that it worked for some people and not for all people. I'm going to see, okay, photos, albums, profile pictures. This will be even less precise. So more flattering, probably. If I put that up there. That's me graduating from college. So that's me graduating from college. Are we really going to roast Milo? I'd like to literally roast Milo Yiannopoulos. That's my acting headshot from my early 20s. So that's me trying to be a soulful actor. Yes, Joe, considerably different to what I look now. That's what 30 years will do to you, my friend. Yes, sexy. And now I'm having fun showing photos. Baby photo. That's me as a baby. That's baby me with a little curl on my head. I look like a young AngryAussie. I don't know who would like that the most. Me or AngryAussie. Well, look at that. People say that looks like me, actually. That's like about my 5th birthday or something. So maybe it's the evil smile in that picture that makes people say that still looks like me. Something like that. No, okay. I looked at a big picture. That one of me as a little boy. I was actually 4 years old in that picture. That was on my 4th birthday. Yes, the evil smile, I think, does people. Yeah, I know. Mr. Stephen, there's no getting around. That was a pretty bad haircut. Pretty goddamn dodgy haircut, quite honestly. Oh, Joe, I wasn't angry at all. The one where I actually saw it was my 4th birthday because I found a broader. Oh wait, what the hell is that? No, that's not what I want. Albums, timeline photos. Where is it? See, okay, I'll do it this way. That's the full one of me. My birthday. You see, 4 candles. That's my 4th birthday. I'm pretty happy because my grandmother made me that cake, and she asked me what I want, and I wanted spacemen, and so there's spaceships and stuff on my cake. I was pretty happy with that. I wasn't angry in that. I've got Celtic King with the personal questions. I love it. I love it. When did I lose my virginity? No, I was not a sexy young thing at all. I was a repressed Catholic. Years of Catholic education successfully really repressed my sexuality, made me feel guilty and alienated and whatnot. I didn't lose my virginity till I was 19. I was at college. So, no, I was not the active young person. You're saying my grandmother who made the cake, she must have been a cool person. No, she wasn't actually. I obviously, like most people, I had two grandparents, two grandmothers. That cake was made by my dad's mum, who, when I was a kid, she did make me birthday cakes, so I shouldn't be too mean. But she was a really, really, really mean lady. She was mean. Whereas my mum's mum, she was a nice grandmother. She was the type of grandmother, you know, she would make cakes. Like, you know, she'd make a banana cake with real bananas and stuff. There is nothing wrong with being a virgin later in life. There's nothing wrong with losing your virginity young either. I don't think either is a definition of who you are as a person. Neither sets you as either a good or a bad person. So I understand everyone's fixation on it, and I definitely would say at 19 I was pretty fixated with, I'm going to have sex while I'm still a teenager, god damn it. But it wasn't a casual thing. It was the first person I had sex with I actually had a long extended relationship with. So I'm not really a casual sex guy. Well, Tabby, I don't think you can make a good banana cake without real bananas, but some people do use like banana essence. Yeah, my grandmother was the type, but she didn't do packet cakes. You make stuff from scratch with all real ingredients. You know, so she was like a good. Okay. Shatner, you've got to head out. Okay, thanks for dropping by. Fun to see you. Peter, that is pretty random, but I like random recommendations. Charles Bradley's cover of Changes by Black Sabbath. Banana cake. Oh, okay, that banana cake reminds me of oh my god, what's his name? There's a guy. My original AngryAussie theme that I still use occasionally. One goes angry Aussie, Aussie. There's a YouTube friend did that for me. He's a music producer, and he made that. And he recorded a bunch of stuff of his own, and these days produces other people. Why has my brain gone blank on who he is? I need to look at one of my video descriptions to work out who he is. Shirtstalk. No, okay. I thought I had that. I just got to look at my channel because I am forgetting. NSG, that was his name. NSG Films. No, NSG Music, I should say, not NSG Films, NSG Music. He had a song about banana cake, although the way he did it was banana cake, banana cake. I want some banana cake, yeah, Bobby, give me some banana cake. A lot of his stuff when he was doing the hippie hoppy rappy stuff really reminds me of Dizzy Rascal, or maybe I should say Dizzy Rascal reminds me of him. I never really felt like he was ripping off Dizzy Rascal or anything, but in terms of sound, I thought was most like Dizzy Rascal. No, Megaleech Blordo is another guy. That's an Aussie. NSG is Indonesian born, grew up in London. When I met him, he was living in London. He's actually moved back to Indonesia and he's producing music in Indonesia. So Blordo's an Aussie who does he does animation and he does music, sort of screamer music. He did my metal theme the heavy metal AngryAussie thing was done by Blordo. Yeah, Peter, there's probably some good UK hip hop. I happen to like Australian hip hop, actually. Things like Hilltop Hoods, Briggs, AB Original. There's a bunch of others who are good, then, you know, not as high up on my list. I suppose it's not just Australian hip hop acts who do it, but I particularly notice it with Australian hip hop acts. The tradition of having featured vocalists, where you find some really good people for the first time, people like Tash Sultana and Montaigne, bunch of others. First time I heard them was being a featured vocalist on a male hip hop act track, and then you go and find their original stuff, and that's really good. I can hear a cat meowing, like it wants to come in. Is it that glass behind it? No, I can hear a cat meowing, wants to come in. Joe rock music, yeah. I think what you know, I've been getting some older stuff recently. I actually, rather than trying to remember, I'm going to just like consult my phone. What have I been buying lately? My library. Recently added. What have I recently added? This is what I've recently added to my music. A compilation of an Australian band called Not Drowning Waving, who are around in the 80s and early 90s. They're basically ambient music. Really like them. Like, I've got all their stuff on vinyl, and just for ease, I bought something off the iTunes shop, a compilation called Through the One Last Door, and I've forgotten how much I liked their stuff. Very good. Another retro one, I got the Double J compilation of the 90s that came out a little while ago, and it's like, man, it's a huge collection. It's like 80 tracks, 80 plus tracks on the 90s one. That's really worth it. Everything I've been buying is retro. I got the best of the Beastie Boys. Everything I've been buying recently is retro. That's a bit right. The only sort of new release things I've bought in the last year or so have been the AB original album, Reclaim Australia, Montaigne, Glorious Heights, and recent Hilltop Hoods albums as well. And I bought the most recent Hottest 100 as well. Wait, is cat really there? No, don't scratch the wire, cat. Don't do that. I think the cat's just there and can see me. Oh, and Deantford, that's the other one. Okay. Mr. Stephen, if you think rap in an Aussie accent is funny, listen to the Hilltop Hoods. Oh, well, Joe will. Russell Morris, your mum got a photo of him. Russell Morris, that's a blast from the past. Iggy Australian. Oh, right, Tabby. Iggy Azalea is Australian. So, Toby, well, as per what we're saying, I do like a bit of hip hop. I'm a fan of the Aussie hip hop. Yeah, Sebastian Briggs is awesome. I was quite late to the party getting into his Shep Life album a couple of years ago, but it had already been out for a couple of years by the time I got into it. But yeah, the collaboration he did last year, AB Original, which is just winning all these awards, the Reclaim Australia album. It's a really good album. Peter, I'll be honest, I thought Iggy was Iggy Pop at first too. And hey there, Mike, how you doing? So you're not alone in thinking that Iggy reference was Iggy Pop at first. I like the question that was a little while back. Let me find who asked it to make sure. Peter, you asked, who would I get to be a feature artist in a hip hop song? That, I really like that as a question. Probably as a cliche, probably someone I've already mentioned, Montaigne, who I first heard on Hilltop Hoods track, and she's just great. But I got her album Glorious Heights, fucking great album. And I will admit, I don't buy that many albums by female artists. I got some Amanda Palmer, and of course, half of Die Antwoord is a female vocal, Jolandi Wasser. Montaigne's album, Glorious Heights, is really good. Joe, your favourite was The Living End. And Cold Chisel. I saw Cold Chisel back in the day when I were a teenager on their Circus Animals tour. That's how long ago I saw fucking Cold Chisel, like 35 years ago. It was probably that long ago, very close to that long ago. Somewhere in the region between 30 and 35 years ago. Toby, I like some heavy metal. I used to be really into heavy metal. I think heavy metal is a young person's thing. Joe, yeah, no. Cold Chisel at their peak on the Circus Animals tour was fucking awesome. And I actually managed to sneak backstage. And so at one point, because I was backstage, someone was like, well, don't just stand around, help out, bring some stuff in from the van. So I went out the van. I thought I was getting musical equipment. And so I put someone puts a slab of beer and 2 bottles of vodka on there that I then carried backstage. So, you know, that was pretty good. Ooh, Miss Foxification, Hunters and Collectors Live. Yeah, that would have been good. Wow, Sebastian, Sabbath with Aussie last year. Man, that's like a bloody museum installation right there. I think, who have I seen over the years that's been good? When I was very young, the Angels were my favourite band, and I saw them live a couple times. I lucked into, and Christ, this was a long time ago, like 20 years ago. The Avalanches, when they put out their first album, Since I Left You, I was here in Melbourne, and a friend visited from Sydney and went, I want to go out. I said, yeah, let's go out. We'll do. Let's go live act. And he just out of the blue, he said, are the Avalanches playing? And I went, I don't know, let's look. And I looked at the gig guide, and he lucked into it. They were playing at Revolver on Chapel Street the weekend he was there. He's so fucking lucky. And in retrospect, I was lucky too. And we went and saw the Avalanches back at their peak. And that was quite the event. But I am old these days, and I don't go out much. At the live acts, it's loud. I just complain about it being too loud, and you young people are too rowdy. Toby, no, I don't and have never smoked, and I am very, very glad, because it's a very hard habit to kick if you start it. So I'm really glad I never started it, because it's a shitty habit to kick, and it is fucking terrible for you. You know, my dad died of cancer, my older sister died of cancer. It's a fucking shitty thing, smoking. So, Aaron, what's going on? We've started talking about live acts we've seen, and yeah, like way back in the day, I did see the classics of Oz Rock, Cold Chisel. I saw Midnight Oil live, the Red Sails in the Sunset tour. That was like at the Hordern Pavilion in Sydney. Ooh, Placebo. AFI and A Day to Remember at Soundwive. That's a good. Mike, I had a soft spot for Placebo. I like their music, but I always had a soft spot. The singer Brian Molko, where he's talking on Triple J once, I think he talked about how, because Placebo, you know, they're kind of hard to fit into a box, because they're kind of pop music and they're kind of emo, and they kind of have that edge to them. Like they look a bit like metal band, and their lead singer was being interviewed on Triple J, Brian Marco, and he was talking about, for some bizarre reason, they got booked to this metal gig in, like, metal festival in Scandinavia somewhere. I forget exactly where, somewhere in Northern Europe, right? And because they weren't metal like the rest of the acts, they were getting a really hard time for the crowd. They were getting booed. And Brian Molko had had enough of this crowd, and he just went, "Hey, we're up here doing our fucking job. Give us a break. I'm working. This is what I do for a job. I'm working here. Do I come around when you're working and knock the sailors' dicks out of your mouth? No. So give me a break." And while that is a homophobic joke, and I do have friends who are sex workers, and I see nothing wrong with sex work, it was still funny. The idea that this weedy, emo-looking guy at a metal festival getting monstered by the crowd just yells at them, "Do I come around and knock the sailors' dicks out of your mouth while you're working?" I just thought, that's pretty good, quite honestly. So, Mr. Stephen, you got Silverchair and the Dissociatives. Well, look up the Hilltop Hoods on. You're talking about, you think Aussie hip hop would be funny sounding? Look up the Hilltop Hoods and Briggs and AB Original, and then in the related stuff you'll get a bunch of other stuff, particularly other golden era artists, and you'll get a dose of Aussie hip hop. It'd be interesting for you, I think. But yeah, I try and yeah, sometimes I see my music on like, you know, on my iPhone I have music, and that it ranges from, I got a lot of 80s music, 90s music, and some newer stuff as well. Like I always get the Triple J Hottest 100 to see what the kids were into last year, because I can't really keep up what's in there. Yeah, Tendai Pendulum, right. And I like Pendulum. They get ragged on. People say they're like, you know, the they're like the Eagles of industrial techno, but I really like Pendulum. I unashamedly like Pendulum. Oh, the Butterfingers, Peter. Yes, they have some funny tracks. I'll give them stuff. That is a good line, Joe Will, from Billy Connolly. I don't come to your rehab class and tell you how to finger paint. Yeah. Oh, look, if you want, I mean, if you want some darker Aussie industrial music, look up Mark of Cain. Matthew, Milo's a piece of shit. He's a pathetic, shameless self-promoter who has no depth whatsoever. He's a pathetic fucking loser. Joe, that's another good one. Telling a heckler never to drink on an empty head. Yeah, I was thinking, again, you think Aussie hip-hop's an unusual thing. There were some really good Aussie industrial bands as well. Mark of Cain stand out. And electro, back in the 80s and 90s, man, Severed Heads. If you like electronic music, look up Severed Heads. I'm sure they've got stuff on YouTube as well. Just electro dance music. Oh, Sebastian, I would fucking interview Milo with a fucking jackboot on his fucking throat, I swear. But yeah, no. My main problem with Milo Yiannopoulos is he's completely empty. It's like he plays the thing, I'm being a troll, I'm being a provocateur. It's no, you're an empty, soulless shell of an excuse of a human. There is nothing to it. There is nothing to him. He has no depth. He has no meaning. He's just basically really quite worthless. Oh yes, Peter, Regurgitator. I would definitely recommend Regurgitator. They are so hard to categorize. Like, you listen to different Regurgitator songs, some of them are pop, some are really funk, some are electronic, some are really grungy. They really mix it up. Well, Sebastian, that is a fair point, that Milo Yiannopoulos is a white supremacist Nazi promoter who endorses pedophilia. Those are factual statements. Joe Will, yeah, Milo has the depth of a teaspoon. That's about it, really. Okay, see, Mike, here's the thing. Dubstep, I'll be really uncool and say I like dubstep too, like stuff from the height of dubstep. Like, obviously, like any genre, there is shit in dubstep. And Mike, yeah, dubstep sounds like robots fucking. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, not enough lube. That's where the wob 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 comes from. They don't have enough lube when the robots are fucking, so you get the wob 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 sound coming in. Oh God, what was the big guy in dubstep? God, how soon we forget? He was like the huge. Scary Monsters and Nice Price. What was his name? God, my brain just fails me. Skrillex. That's who I was trying to think of. Yeah. So I'm uncool enough to say, oh my God, Mr. Stevens, Skinny Puppy. Yes. Old school. Oh my God. Megaleech, I have heard Insurge. Yes. Tendai, I think you're right. I think you're right that Transformers use dubstep to set the mood for sex. Yeah, Joe, my brain is definitely going all over the place. Brain farts everywhere. And this the really uncool song that I like. Nero had one that was a bit of a hit like 5 years ago called Promises. I really like that song. It's like from the height of dubstep. Yeah, Bangarang is a good. I like the early singles from Skrillex, like that one. Oh my God, with the awesome video, Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites, I think, where the video was basically a pedo stalking a little girl, and the little girl goes downstairs into this basement, and the pedophile follows her down there, and he's got like a bottle of chloroform. It's going down there, but the little girl's not really a little girl. It's some sort of demon that takes on a little girl's form. And when the pedo goes down in the cellar, the little girl starts doing this thing and unleashes all his power and ultimately kills the pedo. And I always had a soft spot for that video. That was pretty funny with that. Call 911! And yeah, the little girl doing the little spell thing, and her shadow's this huge demon that's unleashing all this power against the pedophile. And the video finishes with the little girl doing another check mark on the wall, and you see all the check marks, how many pedophiles the demon has apparently lured down to the cellar to kill them. Well, you know, that's a good use of your time if you're a demon, quite honestly. So, well, Mike, try this by Pegboard Nerds is very interesting. Classic dubstep remix. Oh my God, again, random songs from a few years ago that just occurred to me. I'm trying to remember what the band was, but it was the Gay Pirate song. Cosmo Jarvis. It's like when you see there's a song called Gay Pirates or Yo-Ho Sebastian, you think, oh, that's just going to be a joke song. They're going to be making some silly joke about gay pirates and blah, blah, blah. But it's not. It's this really heartfelt thing of these two pirates who are gay and get found out by the rest of the crew who don't like it, and they're tortured and murdered by the crew. It's like this really sad love song, and it's really full in because you get lured in thinking this is a novelty song. It's going to be some sort of joke about gay pirates, but it's not. It's about pirates who are gay and they get found out and they get killed by the crew. And so it's this sad love song, and it's really good, but it really sucks you into thinking it's a novelty song, and it's not really. Dottie, that's the Lucifer question. If your job's to torture the wicked, does that automatically mean you have to be evil as well, or is it just a job? Well, I don't know how many of you have seen the TV series Lucifer, where Lucifer has abandoned the realm of hell and he's running a club in Los Angeles. But that's inspired by Neil Gaiman's rather influential graphic novel series from the 90s, Sandman, because in that, basically all the gods and pantheons are as real as anything, and the Sandman is the anthropomorphic personification of Dream. So sometimes he's known as Dream, sometimes he's known as Morpheus, sometimes he's known as the Sandman. But he ends up, he goes to hell for a particular reason, has a face-off with Lucifer, wins the face-off, but pisses Lucifer off, who swears revenge on him. And Lucifer eventually abandons hell, gives Morpheus the key to hell, and he sets up a piano bar in Los Angeles. And that's the inspiration for the TV series Lucifer. Although then they just go off on a completely different tangent where he fights crime. But yeah, Neil Gaiman's exploration of the idea of, well, Lucifer's just following a role. It's part of God's plan. Lucifer in and of himself is not evil. He's just following God's plan. Wolfer, there was a short-lived pirate band in Perth called the Swashbuckling Hot Pants Experience. I thoroughly agree with you, my friend. That's a shame they didn't do more shows. I'm sold already on the Swashbuckling Hot Pants Experience. And no, Peter, I did not see the atrocity that was Bill Shorten rapping. I heard that it happened, but I absolutely did not see or hear it. I spared myself that. Oh my god. Ugh. But yes, God, I went on a tangent there. That's happening. Yes, if you ever want good reading, anything written by Neil Gaiman, and he's done a lot of comics over the years, from stuff that he was over, like the Sandman. He's done some superhero stuff. I found an unusual one in the library once, and it was an exploration. It was like all the angels in heaven before the creation of Earth, and how God created sin and evil, and put the first seeds of Lucifer's rebellion, because God does something that is not just, and Lucifer sees that God's done something that is not just, and it's the obvious seeds for Lucifer's eventual rebellion, because he thinks, why does God do shitty things sometimes? Wolfer, okay, now I'm disappointed. Sad lack of hot pants in the actual show. But yeah, I'm glad they were good. Oh, but now you're remembering, Wolfer, you're making me remember Oh, my misspent youth when I was living in the inner west of Sydney. There was a band called the Tall Shirts that has had a residency in the Petersham Hotel on Parramatta Road. And I used to walk there because I didn't have a car. I didn't have a car in Sydney. And it took me about half an hour to walk there from where I lived in Redfern, Chippendale. And I would walk down to the Petersham Hotel on, I think it was Wednesday nights, Tall Shirts residency. And so they were so much fun. They were very weird. They were like a cabaret act that had a real cowboy tone to them. And I think the lead singer's name was Big Andy. But they had a couple of archetypal songs in their set. One was called Two Dogs Fucking. And I'm sure everyone's heard the joke of the American Indian tribe where the young brave is talking to his father, who's the chief of the tribe, and says, Father, how do we get our names? And the father says, well, when a child is born, parents look out of the tent and they see something that inspires them. For instance, your sister is known as Summer Rain because when she was born, I looked out, summer rain was flowing across the plains and it was beautiful. And your sister was beautiful, so I called her Summer Rain. Your brother is Howling Wolf because I looked out of the tent when he was born and I heard, a wolf howling. So your brother is known as Howling Wolf. Out of interest, why do you ask this question, Two Dogs Fucking? So it's a joke about two dogs fucking. And the way they would play this song live, they would play some really kind of melodic song. Like I walked in one night and I was just hearing feelings, nothing more than feelings. And the thing is, like, it's a Barry Manilow song or something. Na, 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 na. The pause. And the song Two Dogs Fucking was nothing but like almost heavy metal guitar going, da, and it just, the only lyric was two dogs fucking, two dogs fucking, two dogs fucking. So that was like a centerpiece of the show. And the other centerpiece of the show was called Kill a Pig. And that was about a luau. And it was done like a Don Ho song, like a Hawaiian song, like going to a luau, gonna have a good time, drink banana wine, and they're just like it's playing this sort of luau music, going da, 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 and then it'd be a da, and then they just rip into this heavy guitar line. He's just go kill a pig, whoa, bash that, whoa, kill a pig. These were the things that amused me when I was young. So yes, that's the sort of thing I used to listen to when I was young. I lived in the inner west of Sydney, and so we'd see all the indie bands in places like the Petersham Hotel and in pubs in Newtown, like the Sandringham. Yeah. Okay, Toby, I'm glad I'm your inspiration. It's a little bit troubling. Ever heard epiconomist foxification? I have not. Okay, because last night you're just dropping in, I'm about to leave. You just finished teaching how to wrap a student's bleeding finger. Where's nightmare? Oh my God, that's awful. Oh my God, my daughter, when she was about, oh God, I don't know, somewhere between 8 and 12, she was not very old. She was in holiday program, school holidays, and because both parents were working, it was like a holiday care thing for kids. And they were on an excursion. They were just going to the museum in Carlton, in Melbourne. So they were in a museum, and before they went in, there's a park outside. The kids were just playing, and they were running around as kids do. My daughter and some boy were running like from opposite directions, and they clashed heads as they ran past each other. And so they both opened a gash just like above their eyebrow. And the poor people who, like the young females, all of them, who were the carers responsible for this holiday program, must have been their worst fucking nightmare. These two kids who smashed heads into each other, cut themselves open, fucking blood everywhere. Neither of them was seriously injured. Like they both got a couple stitches up here. So my daughter has a neat scar that bisects her eyebrow now. But so, you know, their worst nightmare is the kids getting hurt, and then two of them clash heads and fucking, and because the kids are screaming because A, they're in blood, and B, they're in pain, B, they're scared, and fucking blood everywhere. It must have been their worst nightmare. They did a really good job managing it. Yeah, you know, and by the time I heard they at hospital, so I went and met them at hospital. And my daughter at this stage has like bandages on her head, and she got a couple stitches up here. But yeah, I get 20-year-olds cutting themselves and bleeding. Not what you want, Coco. Not at all. Yes, you would expect 20-year-olds can look after themselves better than little kids. Apparently not. Apparently not. Well, that's a bummer. Good Lord. Okay. Well, look, it's after 10 o'clock now. I'm going to bed. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. This was lots of fun, as usual. So I thank you very much for taking part. You know, if you give me the old thumbs up on the YouTubes on the way out, we'll fool the algorithm yet and make it think that I'm popular. And I'll hopefully see you again soon. I am still attempting to do a video every day in October, doing videos. Might do a live stream again on Thursday. That's same time, same channel. So thanks all for joining. Really enjoyed seeing you all here. And hopefully I will see you next time. Bye now.